The wolf Canis lupus, people. Wolves, also known as the gray wolf or gray wolf, is a canine native to Eurasia and North America. More than 30 subspecies of Canis lupus have been recognized, including the dog and dingo, though gray wolves, as popularly understood, only comprise naturally occurring wild subspecies. The wolf is the largest wild extant member of the family Canidae, and is further distinguished from other Canis species by its less pointed ears and muzzle, as well as a shorter torso and a longer tail. The wolf is nonetheless related closely enough to smaller Canis species, such as the coyote and the golden jackal, produce fertile hybrids with them. The wolf's fur is usually mottled white, brown, gray, and black, although subspecies in the Arctic region may be nearly all white. Of all members of the genus Canis, the wolf is most specialized for cooperative game hunting as demonstrated by its physical adaptations to tackling large prey, its more social nature, and its highly advanced expressive behavior, including individual or group howling. It travels in nuclear families consisting of a mated pair accompanied by their offspring. Offspring may leave to form their own packs on the onset of sexual maturity and in response to competition for food within the pack. Wolves are also territorial, and fights over territory are among the principal causes of mortality. The wolf is mainly a carnivore and feeds on large wild-hooved mammals as well as smaller animals, livestock, carrion, and garbage. Single wolves or mated pairs typically have higher success rates in hunting than do large packs. Pathogens and parasites, notably the rabies virus, may infect wolves. The global wild wolf population was estimated to be 300,000 in 2003 and is considered to be of least concern by the International Union for Conservation of Nature IUCN. Wolves have a long history of interactions with humans, having been despised and hunted in most pastoral communities because of their attacks on livestock, while conversely being respected in some agrarian and hunter-gatherer societies. Although the fear of wolves exists in many human societies, the majority of recorded attacks on people have been attributed to animals suffering from rabies. Wolf attacks on humans are rare because wolves are relatively few, live away from people, and have developed a fear of humans because of their experiences with hunters, farmers, ranchers, and shepherds. In 1758, the Swedish botanist and zoologist Carl Linnaeus published in his Systema Naturae the binomial nomenclature. Canis is the Latin word meaning dog. 9, and under this genus he listed the dog like carnivores, including domestic dogs, wolves, and jackals. He classified the domestic dog as Canis familiaris and the wolf as Canis lupus. Linnaeus considered the dog to be a separate species from the wolf because of its cauda recurvata upturning tail, which is not found in any other canid. Subspecies subspecies of Canis lupus. Further information. Pleistocene wolf in the 3rd edition of Mammal Species of the World, published in 2005. The mammalogist W. Christopher Wozencraft listed under C. lupus 36 wild subspecies and proposed to additional subspecies Familiaris Linnaeus, 1758, and Dingo Meyer, 1793. Wozencraft included Hallstromi, the New Guinea singing dog, as a taxonomic synonym for the dingo. Wozencraft referred to a 1999 mitochondrial DNA mtDNA study as one of the guides informing his decision, and listed the 38 subspecies of C. lupus under the biological common name of wolf, the nominate subspecies being the Eurasian wolf, C. L. lupus, based on the type specimen that Linnaeus studied. In Sweden, studies using paleogenomic techniques reveal that the modern wolf and the dog are sister taxa, as modern wolves are not closely related to the population of wolves that was first domesticated. In 2019, a workshop hosted by the IUCN, Species Survival Commission's Canid Specialist Group, considered the New Guinea singing dog and the dingo to be feral Canis familiaris, and therefore should not be assessed for the IUCN Red List. Evolution Mind article. Evolution of the wolf. Further information. Domestication of the dog. Life restoration of Canis mospicensis, the wolf's immediate ancestor. The phylogenetic descent of the extant wolf C. lupus from the earlier C. mospicensis, which in turn descended from C. etruscus, is widely accepted. Among the oldest fossils of the modern gray wolf is from Ponte Galleria in Italy, dating to 406,500 plus or minus to 1,400 years ago. Remains from Cripple Creek Sump in Alaska may be considerably older, around 1 million years old, though differentiating between the remains of modern wolves and C. mospicensis is difficult and ambiguous. U.S., with some authors choosing to include C. mospicensis, which first appeared around 1.4 million years ago as an early subspecies of C. lupus. Considerable morphological diversity existed among wolves by the late Pleistocene. Many late Pleistocene wolf populations had more robust skulls and teeth than modern wolves, often with a shortened snout, a pronounced development of the temporalist muscle, and robust premolars. It is proposed that these features were specialized adaptations for the processing of carcass and bone associated with the hunting and scavenging of Pleistocene megafauna. Compared with modern wolves, some Pleistocene wolves showed an increase in tooth breakage similar to that seen in the extinct dire wolf. This suggests they either often processed carcasses or that they competed with other carnivores and needed to consume their prey quickly. The frequency and location of tooth fractures in these wolves indicates they were habitual bone crackers like the modern spotted hyena. Genomic studies suggest modern wolves and dogs descend from a common ancestral wolf population. A 2021 study found that the Himalayan wolf and the Indian Plains wolf are part of a lineage that is basal to other wolves and split from them 200,000 years ago. Other wolves appear to share most of their common ancestry much more recently, within the last 23,000 years, around the peak and the end of the last glacial maximum, originating from Siberia or Beringia. While some sources have suggested that this was a consequence of a population bottleneck, other studies have suggested that this is a result of gene flow homogenizing ancestry. A 2016 genomic study suggests that Old World and New World wolves split around 12,500 years ago, followed by the divergence of the lineage that led to dogs from other Old World wolves around 1,100 to 12,300 years ago. An extinct late Pleistocene wolf may have been the ancestor of the dog, with the dog's similarity to the extant wolf being the result of genetic admixture between the two. The dingo, Basenji, Tibetan Mastiff, and Chinese indigenous breeds are basal members of the domestic dog clade. The divergence time for wolves in Europe, the Middle East, and Asia is estimated to be fairly recent at around 1,600 years ago. Among New World wolves, the Mexican wolf diverged around 5,400 years ago. In the distant past, there was gene flow between African wolves, golden jackals, and gray wolves. The African wolf is a descendant of a genetically admixed canid of 72% wolf and 28% Ethiopian wolf ancestry. One African wolf from the Egyptian Sinai Peninsula showed admixture with Middle Eastern gray wolves and dogs. There is evidence of gene flow between golden jackals and Middle Eastern wolves, less so with European and Asian wolves, and least with North American wolves. This indicates the golden jackal ancestry found in North American wolves may have occurred before the divergence of the Eurasian and North American wolves. The common ancestor of the coyote and the wolf is admixed with a ghost population of an extinct unidentified canid. This canid was genetically close to the dhole and evolved after the divergence of the African hunting dog from the other canid species. Similarly, A museum specimen of a wolf from southern China collected in 1963 showed a genome that was 12 to 14% admixed from this unknown canid. In North America, some coyotes and wolves show varying degrees of past genetic admixture. In more recent times, some male Italian wolves originated from dog ancestry, which indicates female wolves will breed with male dogs in the wild. In the Caucasus Mountains, 10% of dogs, including livestock guardian dogs, are first-generation hybrids. Although mating between golden jackals and wolves has never been observed, evidence of jackal-wolf hybridization was discovered through mitochondrial DNA analysis of jackals living in the Caucasus Mountains 29 and in Bulgaria. In 2021, a genetic study found that the dog's similarity to the extant gray wolf was the result of substantial dog-into-wolf gene flow, with little evidence of the reverse. The wolf is the largest extant member of the family Canidae, and is further distinguished from coyotes and jackals by a broader snout, shorter ears, a shorter torso, and a longer tail. It is slender and powerfully built, with a large, deeply descending rib cage, a sloping back, and a heavily muscled neck. The wolf's legs are moderately longer than those of other canids, which enables the animal to move swiftly and to overcome the deep snow that covers most of its geographical range in winter. Though more short-legged ecomorphs are found in some wolf populations, the ears are relatively small and triangular. The wolf's head is large and heavy, with a wide forehead, strong jaws, and a long, blunt muzzle. The skull is 230 to 280 millimeters, 9.1 to 11.0 in length, and 130 to 150 millimeters, 5.1 to 5.9 in width. The teeth are heavy and large, making them better suited to crushing bone than those of other canids, though they are not as specialized as those found in hyenas. Its molars have a flat chewing surface, but not to the same extent as the coyote, whose diet contains more vegetable matter. Females tend to have narrower muzzles and foreheads, thinner necks, slightly shorter legs, and less massive shoulders than males. Photograph of a wolf skeletona, wolf skeleton housed in the Wolf Museum, Abruzzo National Park. Italian adult wolves measure 105 to 160 centimeters, 41 to 63 in length, and 80 to 85 centimeters, 31 to 33 at shoulder height. The tail measures 29 to 50 centimeters, 11 to 20 in length. The ears 90 to 110 millimeters, 3.5 to 4.3 in height. And the hind feet are 220 to 250 millimeters, 8.7 to 9.8 in. 43. The size and weight of the modern wolf increases proportionally with latitude in accordance with Bergmann's rule. 44. The mean body mass of the wolf is 40 kilograms, 88 pounds. The smallest specimen recorded at 12 kilograms, 26 pounds, and the largest at 79.4 kilograms, 175 pounds. On average, European wolves weigh 38.5 kilograms, 85 pounds. North American wolves 36 kilograms, 79 pounds. And Indian and Arabian wolves 25 kilograms. Females in any given wolf population typically weigh 5 to 10 pounds to 0.3 to 4.5 kilograms less than males. Wolves weighing over 54 kilograms, 119 pounds, are uncommon, though exceptionally large individuals have been recorded in Alaska and Canada. In central Russia, exceptionally large males can reach a weight of 69 to 79 kilograms, 152 to 174 pounds. Pelage picture of a wolf standing on snowy terrain, turning its head at the camel wolf in Speedy Valley. Northern Indian wolf has very dense and fluffy winter fur, with a short undercoat and long, coarse guard hairs. Most of the undercoat and some guard hairs are shed in spring and grow back in autumn. 46. The longest hairs occur on the back, particularly on the front quarters and neck. Especially long hairs grow on the shoulders and almost form a crest on the upper part of the neck. The hairs on the cheeks are elongated and form tufts. The ears are covered in short hairs and project from the fur. Short, elastic, and closely adjacent hairs are present on the limbs from the elbows down to the calcaneal tendons. The winter fur is highly resistant to the cold. Wolves in northern climates can rest comfortably in open areas at 40 Celsius, 40 F by placing their muzzles between the rear legs and covering their faces with their tail. Wolf fur provides better insulation than dog fur and does not collect ice when warm breath is condensed against it. In cold climates, the wolf can reduce the flow of blood near its skin to conserve body heat. The warmth of the foot pads is regulated independently from the rest of the body and is maintained at just above tissue freezing point where the pads come in contact with ice and snow. 48. In warm climates, the fur is coarser and scarcer than in northern wolves. Female wolves tend to have smoother furred limbs than males and generally develop the smoothest overall coats as they age. Older wolves generally have more white hairs on the tip of the tail, along the nose, and on the forehead. Winter fur is retained longest by lactating females, although with some hair loss around their teats. Hair length on the middle of the back is 60 to 70 millimeters to 0.4 to 0.8 in, and the guard hairs on the shoulders generally do not exceed 90 millimeters 3.5 in, but can reach 110 to 130 millimeters for 0.3 to 5.1 in. Photographs showing one black and one white wolf standing alongside each other wolves in the Lavoisier du Dour Zoo. Francia wolf's coat color is determined by its guard hairs. Wolves usually have some hairs that are white, brown, gray, and black. The coat of the Eurasian wolf is a mixture of ochreous, yellow to orange, and rusty ochreous, orange, red, brown colors with light gray. The muzzle is pale ochreous gray, and the area of the lips, cheeks, chin, and throat is white. The top of the head, forehead, under and between the eyes, and between the eyes and ears is gray with a reddish film. The neck is ochreous. Long, black tips on the hairs along the back form a broad stripe, with black hair tips on the shoulders, upper chest, and rear of the body. The sides of the body, tail, and outer limbs are a pale dirty ochreous color, while the inner sides of the limbs, belly, and groin are white. Apart from those wolves, which are pure white or black, these tones vary little across geographical areas, although the patterns of these colors vary between individuals. In North America, the coat colors of wolves follow Blodger's rule, wolves in the Canadian Arctic being white and those in southern Canada, the U.S., and Mexico being predominantly gray. In some areas of the Rocky Mountains of Alberta and British Columbia, the coat color is predominantly black, some being blue-gray and some with silver and black. Differences in coat color between sexes is absent in Eurasia. Females tend to have redder tones in North America. Black-colored wolves in North America acquired their color from wolf-dog admixture after the first arrival of dogs across the Bering Strait 12,000 to 14,000 years ago. Research into the inheritance of white color from dogs into wolves has yet to be undertaken. Distribution and Habitat main article. Wolf distribution Fofferg of a wolf standing on snowy ground. An Italian wolf in a mountainous habitat in the Apennines in Sassoferrato, Italy. Wolves occur across Eurasia and North America. However, deliberate human persecution because of livestock predation and fear of attacks on humans has reduced the wolf's range to about 1/3 of its historic range. The wolf is now extirpated, locally extinct from much of its range in Western Europe, the United States, and Mexico, and completely in the British Isles and Japan. In modern times, the wolf occurs mostly in wilderness and remote areas. The wolf can be found between sea level and 3,000 meters, 9,800 feet. Wolves live in forests, inland wetlands, shrublands, grasslands, including Arctic tundra, pastures, deserts, and rocky peaks on mountains. One habitat use by wolves depends on the abundance of prey, snow conditions, livestock densities, road densities, human presence, and topography. Diet photograph of a wolf carrying a caribou leg in its mouth. A wolf carrying a caribou hindquarter Denali National Park, Alaska. Like all land mammals that are pack hunters, the wolf feeds predominantly on ungulates that can be divided into large size 240 to 650 kilograms, 530 to 1, 430 pounds, and medium size 23 to 130 kilograms, 51 to 287 pounds, and have a body mass similar to that of the combined mass of. The wolf specializes in preying on the vulnerable individuals of large prey, 41 with a pack of 15 able to bring down an adult moose. The variation in diet between wolves living on different continents is based on the variety of hoofed mammals and of available smaller and domesticated prey. In North America, the wolf's diet is dominated by wild large hoofed mammals, ungulates, and medium-sized mammals. In Asia and Europe, their diet is dominated by wild medium-sized hoofed mammals and domestic species. The wolf depends on wild species, and if these are not readily available, as in Asia, the wolf is more reliant on domestic species. Across Eurasia, wolves prey mostly on moose, red deer, roe deer, and wild boar. In North America, important range-wide prey are elk, moose, caribou, white-tailed deer, and mule deer. Prior to their extirpation from North America, wild horses were among the most frequently consumed prey of North American wolves. Wolves can digest their meal in a few hours and can feed several times in one day, making quick use of large quantities of meat. A well-fed wolf stores fat under the skin, around the heart, intestines, kidneys, and bone marrow, particularly during the autumn and winter. Nonetheless, wolves are not fussy eaters. Smaller-sized animals that may supplement their diet include rodents, hares, insectivores, and smaller carnivores. They frequently eat waterfowl and their eggs. When such foods are insufficient, they prey on lizards, snakes, frogs, and large insects when available. 60 for wolves in some areas may consume fish and even marine life. Wolves also consume some plant material. In Europe, they eat apples, pears, figs, melons, berries, and cherries. In North America, wolves eat blueberries and raspberries. They also eat grass, which may provide some vitamins, but is most likely used mainly to induce vomiting to rid themselves of intestinal parasites or long-guard hairs. 68. They are known to eat the berries of mountain ash, lily of the valley, bilberries, cowberries, European black nightshade, grain crops, and the shoots of reeds. In times of scarcity, wolves will readily eat carrion. 64. In Eurasian areas with dense human activity, many wolf populations are forced to subsist largely on livestock and garbage. 59. As prey in North America continue to occupy suitable habitats with low human density, North American wolves eat livestock and garbage only in dire circumstances. Cannibalism is not uncommon in wolves during harsh winters, when packs often attack weak or injured wolves and may eat the bodies of dead pack members. Interactions with other predators wolves typically dominate other canid species in areas where they both occur. In North America, incidents of wolves killing coyotes are common, particularly in winter, when coyotes feed on wolf kills. Wolves may attack coyote den sites, digging out and killing their pups, though rarely eating them. There are no records of coyotes killing wolves, though coyotes may chase wolves if they outnumber them. According to a press release by the U.S. Department of Agriculture in 1921, the infamous Custer wolf relied on coyotes to accompany him and warn him of danger. Though they fed from his kills, he never allowed them to approach him. Interactions have been observed in Eurasia between wolves and golden jackals, the latter's numbers being comparatively small in areas with high wolf densities. Wolves also kill red, Arctic, and Corsac foxes, usually in disputes over carcasses, sometimes eating them. Photograph of a wolf, a bear, coyotes, and ravens competing over a kill a wolf, a bear. Coyotes and ravens compete over a kill. Brown bears typically dominate wolf packs in disputes over carcasses, while wolf packs mostly prevail against bears when defending their den sites. Both species kill each other's young. Wolves eat the brown bears they kill, while brown bears seem to eat only young wolves. 76 wolf interactions with American black bears are much rarer because of differences in habitat preferences. Wolves have been recorded on numerous occasions actively seeking out American black bears in their dens and killing them without eating them. Unlike brown bears, American black bears frequently lose against wolves in disputes over kills. Wolves also dominate and sometimes kill wolverines, and will chase off those that attempt to scavenge from their kills. Wolverines escape from wolves in caves or up trees. Wolves may interact and compete with felids, such as the Eurasian lynx, which may feed on smaller prey where wolves are present 79 and may be suppressed by large wolf populations. 80. Wolves encounter cougars along portions of the Rocky Mountains and adjacent mountain ranges. Wolves and cougars typically avoid encountering each other by hunting at different elevations for different prey niche partitioning. This is more difficult during winter. Wolves in packs usually dominate cougars and can steal their kills or even kill them, while one-to-one encounters tend to be dominated by the cat, who likewise will kill wolves. 82. Wolves more broadly affect cougar population dynamics and distribution by dominating territory and prey opportunities and disrupting the feline's behavior. 83. Wolf and Siberian tiger interactions are well documented in the Russian Far East, where tigers significantly depress wolf numbers, sometimes to the point of localized extinction. In Israel, Palestine, Central Asia, and India, wolves may encounter striped hyenas, usually in disputes over carcasses. Striped hyenas feed extensively on wolf-killed carcasses in areas where the two species interact. One-to-one, hyenas dominate wolves and may prey on them. 85. But wolf packs can drive off single or outnumbered hyenas. 86. 87. There is at least one case in Israel of a hyena associating and cooperating with a wolf pack. Infection parasites and pathogens of wolves photograph of a wolf with mange eating and a kill wolf with mange. Yellowstone National Park viral diseases carried by wolves include rabies, canine distemper, canine parvovirus, infectious canine hepatitis, papillomatosis, and canine coronavirus. In wolves, the incubation period for rabies is 8 to 21 days and results in the host becoming agitated, deserting its pack, and traveling up to 80 kilometers, 50 miles a day, thus increasing the risk of infecting other wolves. Although canine distemper is lethal in dogs, it has not been recorded to kill wolves, except in Canada and Alaska. The canine parvovirus, which causes death by dehydration, electrolyte imbalance, and endotoxic shock or sepsis, is largely survivable in wolves, but can be lethal to pups. Bacterial diseases carried by wolves include brucellosis, Lyme disease, leptospirosis, tularemia, bovine tuberculosis, listeriosis, and anthrax. Although Lyme disease can debilitate individual wolves, it does not appear to significantly affect wolf populations. Leptospirosis can be contracted through contact with infected prey or urine and can cause fever, anorexia, vomiting, anemia, hematuria, icterus, and death. Wolves are often infested with a variety of arthropod exoparasites, including fleas, ticks, lice, and mites. The most harmful to wolves, particularly pups, is the mange mites Archops scabiei, though they rarely develop full-blown mange, unlike foxes. Endoparasites known to infect wolves include protozoans and helminths, flukes, tapeworms, roundworms, and thorny-headed worms. Most fluke species reside in the wolf's intestines. Tapeworms are commonly found in wolves, which they get though their prey, and generally cause little harm in wolves, though this depends on the number and size of the parasites and the sensitivity of the host. Symptoms often include constipation, toxic and allergic reactions, irritation of the intestinal mucosa, and malnutrition. Wolves can carry over 30 roundworm species, though most roundworm infections appear benign, depending on the number of worms and the age of the host. Wolves communicate using vocalizations, body postures, scent, touch, and taste. The phases of the moon have no effect on wolf vocalization, and despite popular belief, wolves do not howl at the moon. Wolves howl to assemble the pack usually before and after hunts, to pass on an alarm particularly at a den site, to locate each other during a storm while crossing unfamiliar territory, and to communicate across great distances. Wolf howls can, under certain conditions, be heard over areas of up to 130 square kilometers, 50 square miles. Other vocalizations include growls, barks, and whines. Wolves do not bark as loudly or continuously as dogs do in confrontations, rather barking a few times and then retreating from a perceived danger. Aggressive or self-assertive wolves are characterized by their slow and deliberate movements, high body posture, and raised hackles, while submissive ones carry their bodies low, flatten their fur, and lower their ears and tail. Scent marking involves urine, feces, and perputial and anal gland scents. This is more effective at advertising territory than howling, and is often used in combination with scratch marks. Wolves increase their rate of scent marking when they encounter the marks of wolves from other packs. Lone wolves will rarely mark, but newly bonded pairs will scent mark the most. These marks are generally left every 240 meters, 790 feet, throughout the territory on regular travelways and junctions. Such markers can last for 2 to 3 weeks and are typically placed near rocks, boulders, trees, or the skeletons of large animals. Raised leg urination is considered to be one of the most important forms of scent communication in the wolf, making up 60 to 80% of all scent marks observed. Reproductions also. Canine reproduction foreign of a pair of mating Wolvascorian wolves mating in the Tonla Zoological Park. Japan wolves are monogamous, mated pairs usually remaining together for life. Should one of the pair die, another mate is found quickly. With wolves in the wild, inbreeding does not occur where outbreeding is possible. Wolves become mature at the age of 2 years and sexually mature from the age of 3 years. The age of first breeding in wolves depends largely on environmental factors, when food is plentiful, or when wolf populations are heavily managed. Wolves can rear pups at younger ages to better exploit abundant NT resources. Females are capable of producing pups every year, 1 litter annually being the average. Ostrus and rut begin in the second half of winter and lasts for 2 weeks. Photograph of wolf pups stimulating their mother to regurgitate some food. Iberian wolf pups stimulating their mother to regurgitate some food. Dens are usually constructed for pups during the summer period. When building dens, females make use of natural shelters like fissures in rocks, cliffs overhanging riverbanks, and holes thickly covered by vegetation. Sometimes, the den is the appropriated burrow of smaller animals such as foxes, badgers, or marmots. An appropriated den is often widened and partly remade. On rare occasions, female wolves dig burrows themselves, which are usually small and short with 1 to 3 openings. The den is usually constructed not more than 500 meters, 1,600 feet away from a water source. It typically faces southwards where it can be better warmed by sunlight exposure, and the snow can thaw more quickly. Resting places, play areas for the pups, and food remains are commonly found around wolf dens. The odor of urine and rotting food emanating from the denning area often attracts scavenging birds like magpies and ravens. Though they mostly avoid areas within human sight, wolves have been known to nest near homes, paved roads, and railways. During pregnancy, female wolves remain in a den located away from the peripheral zone of their territories, where violent encounters with other packs are less likely to occur. The gestation period lasts 62 to 75 days, with pups usually being born in the spring months or early summer in very cold places, such as on the tundra. Young females give birth to 4 to 5 young, and older females from 6 to 8 young and up to 14. Their mortality rate is 60 to 80%. Newborn wolf pups look similar to German Shepherd dog pups. They are born blind and deaf and are covered in short, soft grayish-brown fur. They weigh 300 to 500 g, 11 to 18 ounces, at birth and begin to see after 9 to 12 days. The milk canines erupt after 1 month. Pups first leave the den after 3 weeks. At 1.5 months of age, they are agile enough to flee from danger. Mother wolves do not leave the den for the first few weeks, relying on the fathers to provide food for them and their young. Pups begin to eat solid food at the age of 3 to 4 weeks. They have a fast growth rate during their first 4 months of life. During this period, a pup's weight can increase nearly 30 times. Wolf pups begin play fighting at the age of 3 weeks, though unlike young coyotes and foxes, their bites are gentle and controlled. Actual fights to establish hierarchy usually occur at 5 to 8 weeks of age. This is in contrast to young coyotes and foxes, which may begin fighting even before the onset of play behavior. By autumn, the pups are mature enough to accompany the adults on hunts for large prey. Hunting and feeding. Single wolves or mated pairs typically have higher success rates in hunting than do large packs. Single wolves have occasionally been observed to kill large prey such as moose, bison, and muskoxen unaided. The size of a wolf hunting pack is related to the number of pups that survived the previous winter, adult survival, and the rate of dispersing wolves leaving the pack. The optimal pack size for hunting elk is for wolves, and for bison a large pack size is more successful. Wolves move around their territory when hunting, using the same trails for extended periods. Wolves are nocturnal predators. During the winter, a pack will commence hunting in the twilight of early evening and will hunt all night, traveling tens of kilometers. Sometimes hunting large prey occurs during the day. During the summer, wolves generally tend to hunt individually, ambushing their prey and rarely giving pursuit. When hunting large gregarious prey, wolves will try to isolate an individual from its group. If successful, a wolf pack can bring down game that will feed it for days, but one error in judgment can lead to serious injury or death. Most large prey have developed defensive adaptations and behaviors. Wolves have been killed while attempting to bring down bison, elk, moose, muskoxen, and even by one of their smallest hoofed prey, the white-tailed deer. With smaller prey like beaver, geese, and hares, there is no risk to the wolf. Although people often believe wolves can easily overcome any of their prey, their success rate in hunting hoofed prey is usually low. Photograph of 2 wolves eating a deer carcass at night while wolves feeding on a white-tailed deer. The wolf must give chase and gain on its fleeing prey. Slow it down by biting through thick hair and hide, and then disable it enough to begin feeding. With medium-sized prey, such as roe deer or sheep, wolves kill by biting the throat, severing nerve tracts and the carotid artery, thus causing the animal to die within a few seconds to a minute. With small, mouse-like prey, wolves leap in a high arc and immobilize it with their forepaws. Once prey is brought down, wolves begin to feed excitedly, ripping and tugging at the carcass in all directions and bolting down large chunks of it. The breeding pair typically monopolizes food to continue producing pups. When food is scarce, this is done at the expense of other family members, especially non-pups. The kidneys and spleen are eaten once they are exposed, followed by the muscles. A wolf can eat 15 to 19% of its body weight in one sitting. The fear of wolves has been pervasive in many societies, though humans are not part of the wolf's natural prey. How wolves react to humans depends largely on their prior experience with people. Wolves lacking any negative experience of humans, or which are food conditioned, may show little fear of people, although wolves may react aggressively when provoked. Such attacks are mostly limited to quick bites on extremities, and the attacks are not pressed. Predatory attacks may be preceded by a long period of habituation, in which wolves gradually lose their fear of humans. The victims are repeatedly bitten on the head and face, and are then dragged off and consumed unless the wolves are driven off. Such attacks typically occur only locally and do not stop until the wolves involved are eliminated. Predatory attacks can occur at any time of the year, with a peak in the June-August period, when the chances of people entering forested areas for livestock grazing or berry and mushroom picking increase. Cases of non-rabid wolf attacks in winter have been recorded in Belarus, Kirov and Irkutsk oblasts, Karelia, and Ukraine. Also, wolves with pups experience greater food stresses during this period. The majority of victims of predatory wolf attacks are children under the age of 18, and, in the rare cases where adults are killed, the victims are almost always women. Indian wolves have a history of preying on children, a phenomenon called child lifting. They may be taken primarily in the spring and summer periods during the evening hours, and often within human settlements. Incidents of rabies in wolves are very rare in North America, though numerous in the eastern Mediterranean, the Middle East, and Central Asia. Wolves apparently develop the furious phase of rabies to a very high degree. This, coupled with their size and strength, makes rabid wolves perhaps the most dangerous of rabid animals. Bites from rabid wolves are 15 times more dangerous than those of rabid dogs. Rabid wolves usually act alone, traveling large distances and often biting large numbers of people and domestic animals. Most rabid wolf attacks occur in the spring and autumn periods. Unlike with predatory attacks, the victims of rabid wolves are not eaten, and the attacks generally occur only on a single day. The victims are chosen at random, though most cases involve adult men. During the 50 years up to 2002, there were 8 fatal attacks in Europe and Russia, and more than 200 in southern Asia. The English wolf stems from the Old English wolf, which is itself thought to be derived from the Proto-Germanic *wolfos. The Proto-Indo-European root *ws cos may also be the source of the Latin word for the animal lupus *lucos. The name gray wolf refers to the grayish color of the species. Since pre-Christian times, Germanic peoples such as the Anglo-Saxons took on wolf as a prefix or suffix in their names. Examples include wolf here, wolf army, Sinulfroil wolf, CN wolf, bold wolf, wolfhard, Ern eagle wolf, wolfston, wolfstone, wolf noble wolf, wolfrock, wolfhetten, wolfhide, Scrudolf garb wolf, wolfgang, wolfgate, and wolfdregel, wolfrunner. Human hunting of wolves, wolf hunting, and wolf hunting with dogs. Human uses of hunted wolves, men with guns behind 9 carcasses of hunted wolves. Carcasses of hunted wolves in Volgograd Oblast. Russia. Theodore Roosevelt said, wolves are difficult to hunt because of their elusiveness, sharp senses, high endurance, and ability to quickly incapacitate and kill hunting dogs. Historic methods included killing of spring-born litters in their dens, coursing with dogs, usually combinations of sighthounds, bloodhounds, and fox terriers, poisoning with strychnine, and trapping. A popular method of wolf hunting in Russia involves trapping a pack within a small area by encircling it with fladry poles carrying a human scent. This method relies heavily on the wolf's fear of human scents, though it can lose its effectiveness when wolves become accustomed to the odor. Some hunters can lure wolves by imitating their calls. In Kazakhstan and Mongolia, wolves are traditionally hunted using eagles and large falcons, though this practice is declining as experienced falconers are becoming few in number. Shooting wolves from aircraft is highly effective due to increased visibility and direct lines of fire. Several types of dog, including the Borzoi and Kyrgyz Tajgan, have been specifically bred for wolf hunting. Wolves as Pets and Working Animals main article. Wolves as pets and working animals as domestic dogs. Wolves have been pets for tens of thousands of years. 24. Humans are more likely to be fatally mauled by a pet wolf or wolf-dog hybrid than by a dog. Thanks for watching.